with the coven, Christian witches. By the way, I have signed up to attend my first Zoom Christian witch convention. Super excited. Now, I won't be joining them on the weekend. They're getting together for the Zoom, but the Zoom is available for 90 days. They're having sound healing bowls and everything else, and I can't wait to review it when opportunity presents itself, which will be shortly after that weekend has finished. So go over there, sign up for tickets, ValerieLove.com. And normally held them in NOLA, New Orleans, Louisiana, but they're doing it online, and everyone can attend internationally that wants to attend. All right, so we're deconstructing Christianity and breaking down the layers per book, okay? So I'm gonna go through those real quick because I got about 10 minutes before my Uber gets here that I just called. All right, so biblical and Enochic texts are analyzed through a deconstruction model, structure used, origin, law, conflict, instruction, ascension. The way we read these books were Genesis, Book of Adam and Eve, Book of Enoch, 1, 2, and 3, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy, and Joshua. Listen, I just had one simple question. Actually, I have more than that one, but we're only going to talk about this one. And if you want more in depth, it's on my Substack. So, the approach separates historical claim, theological interpretation, symbolic meaning, political, cultural context. Method of deconstruction. Distinguish text versus interpretation versus belief system. Compare with archaeology, ancient Near Eastern texts, historical development of doctrine. Recognize scripture as multi-author library, not a single unified book. Track how meanings shift across time, editors, and traditions. Key themes in biblical structure. Genesis, origin, stories of creation, humanity, and early conflict. Includes tribal narratives and moral tension. One major war, Genesis 14, War of Kings. Exodus, liberation from Egypt. Divine human confrontation, plagues, Red Sea. One major war, Amalekites. Leviticus, no wars. Focus on law, ritual, priesthood, holiness system. The rituals will complete hell, if hell was a real place. The bottomless pit. Yeah. Anyway, transition plus numbers, transition plus instability period, multiple wars, Arad, Sharon, Og, Midian, wilderness rebellion, and identity formation. Deuteronomy, no actual wars, war laws, instruction, and preparation. Moses, final covenant speech. Joshua, full conquest narrative. 4 major war campaigns, Jericho, Ai, Southern Coalition, Northern Coalition, 31 kings defeated overall. Adam and Eve, traditions, no formal wars. Focus on exile from Eden, spiritual warfare, Satan versus humanity. Cain and Abel as primary violence narrative. Emphasis on suffering, survival, and temptation. Enochic literature, 1 Enoch, cosmic warfare, watchers, rebellion, Nephilim, corruption, angelic judgment, apocalyptic destruction themes. 2nd Enoch, no wars. Focus on heavenly ascent and divine instruction. 3rd Enoch, no wars, mystical transformation, Enoch to Metatron, divine hierarchy and celestial order. Big structural pattern across text. Genesis, origin and fragmentation, Adam, Eve, exile and survival, Exodus, liberation, Leviticus, law and order, Numbers, testing and conflict, Deuteronomy, instruction and memory, Joshua, conquest and embodiment, Enoch, cosmic interpretation and ascension, core analytical insight. These texts function as a layered system of human meaning, making not a single voice, but multiple historical and cultural perspectives. Reflect identity formation, political development, moral structure, survival narratives, spiritual interpretation, key questions raised. I asked a lot of questions. I always do. What is literature, history versus symbolic meaning? Who benefits from the narrative, identity, authority, control? How do theology and political memory overlap? What category of truth is each text operating in? Hypothetical real world parallel. If played out in a real life model, the framework resembles origin, founding myths, endurance, survival phases, liberation, revolutions, structure, institutions forming, testing, internal conflict, memory, ideology, preservation, expansion, conquest or influence, growth, ascension, reinterpretation, and philosophical evolution. Final insight. Human societies repeatedly cycle through formation, order, conflict, reinterpretation. Ancient texts encode these cycles using religious language. God language often functions as authority, structure, moral justification system, cultural memory framework rather than a single uniform metaphysical claim. Yeah. So again, if you want the complete literature of everything that went through my mind while I was researching, and more in-depth details in regards to the wars and what was in each book, then my Substack would be available for you. And it's listed biblical and Enochic. Okay? All right, darlings. I'm going to wrap it up for today. Tomorrow I'm going to discuss. Okay. And I went through the Willie Lynch letter and read some things. And I think I want to talk about that Friday. Either Friday or Saturday. It's a lot. Might be, probably, it's going to be Friday. I'll talk about it Friday. I'll just make a commitment to do it Friday. Anyway, I love you, love tubers. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, my loves, okay? Mwah. All right. Okie dokie, she says,